Hello and welcome world, my name is Winsome Duncan and this is the first of its kind, the Winsome Show. I'm so happy to have you here. In fact, I'm actually delighted because we're going to share a moment, and by the end of this show I want you to feel inspired. It's raining outside, it's thunder showers, but I want you to feel inspired in your heart just by being here. So what is it all about? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an entrepreneur. I love creating. I sing, I do poetry, but my main gig that I'm doing at the moment is publishing. I help people to publish their books. Why should you care? Well, if you're interested in reaching out and expanding your network, I'd love to hear from you. I'm about empowering the community. I'm about lifting up. You have to be living on your purpose. It is so vital for you to tap in to what God has given you. God has given me a talent. This Winsome Show was a seed over 3 years ago. It was in my belly, and I was ready to take it to the next level when the time was right. I had to have the right people, the right connections around me. And my phone kept blowing up for the last sort of month or so, you know, sis, come on the show, we want you on the show. And I'm just like, I'm busy, I got things to do. But you know what? Everything in its time. And I picked that call up. And together, all the team, we got together and here we are. This is something that has been in my heart, to communicate, to inspire, to uplift. You can call me the UK Oprah. I don't mind. And you can give me some Oprah money too. I don't mind. So that's a little bit about how we got started and how we got here. So I'm really blessed to be with you. And for the next 45 minutes, I just want to inspire you. I want to lift you up and I want to help you to realize your dream. Remember, when you're tapping into your passion, you will never have to work another day in your life. And sometimes my mum used to tell me, don't say to the right hand what the left hand is doing. So sometimes you've got to keep things under wraps and then just go, surprise, and here I am. So today's topic is a really interesting one. It's called How to Be a Boss Chick. Yes, I do claim that title. I'm a boss chick. I'm a boss. Those people that know, they know I'm a boss. But not in an egotistical way, not in a braggadocious way, but in a way that actually inspires and empowers other people to bring out their entrepreneurial skills and their boss or their bossettes outside of this and inside of themselves, to let that energy just circulate and vibrate around them and their networks. For me, it's all about sewing and inspiring and educating my team to grow. But as you can understand, being a boss chick can be really hard. It can be a lonely road and there can be a lot of sacrifice. And for me, one of the sacrifices that I've had to face is in my love life and being single for long periods of time. And that has affected me emotionally and mentally because now I'm so used to my own company. Where would I place a man? So there's other women out there that are boss chicks that have to juggle, you know, being a wife, being a girlfriend, being a mother, and all these kind of things. So how do you create an empire? How do you build? How do you grow? Some of this information will be transferable. So if you're a man watching this, don't worry, we got you. But it's a ladies' night tonight, and we're going to boss it all the way. But I can't be a boss chick just by myself. We got to have some reinforcements. And my very first guest, I'm really honoured to have her with me. I called her up. I made the call not too long ago, a few days ago. I was just like, look, this is the idea I've got. Can you come? And she said, yeah. She thought for a minute. She said, yeah, she's down. I was like, okay. This is my accountability partner. And every week on a Tuesday, we get together and we talk about how we can expand what it is that we're doing in our journey. And am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm really honoured, and I'm going to just tell you a little bit about this amazing woman to introduce her. Her name is Nauza Katoja. Nauza is a certified neuro-linguistics programmer, life coach, international speaker, teacher, assessor, mentor, poet, founder of the I Love Me Retreats First, but we're not done. There's more. Creator of Afro Kids Movement and Holistic Free Spirit. She is equipped to guide women who suffer with perfection mentality, to break free and unleash our inner gifts within. But wait, there's still more. To help them to create and make a difference to others. One vision to empower women, connect other beautiful, amazing women, seeing and discovering their own worth and taking a stand. To be seen and heard and resulting in taking back their power. And I think you all need to agree we need to just take back the power. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honour and a privilege. It's Nelsa Katoja. Woo! Hey girl.
Hi.
What's up?
Oh, I love that introduction, yeah. Oh boy.
You know how we
I love
do.
the introduction. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
It's been an absolute honour. I'm privileged that you're on my show. You know we're making history, right?
Yes.
So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to tell the audience, for people, you know, they don't know you fully, so just look over there in that camera and just tell them how wonderful and beautiful you are.
Oh my God. I'm not going to blow my whole trumpet, but thank you so much for the introduction and the acknowledgement. And we women do need to acknowledge our inner beauty, our outer beauty. So I thank you so much for that. We're all beautiful.
Indeed. And she's very modest, isn't she? Very, very modest. All right, so let's get to it. What is your definition of a boss chick?
You asked me that question earlier and I was like, what is a boss chick? For me, a boss chick is taking my power back, building my own kingdom, and making sure that I am full in all areas of my life so I can give out to others. It's being able to manage something on my terms and be seen as a strong person, as a strong woman, and someone who can take care of things on her own. At times it can be challenged, like you said, but for me, being a boss woman means I get to set my own rules. I get to set my own rules.
That's how we like
and I don't
it.
like to follow rules, so when I set my own, I know I'm going to follow
I
them.
know you don't like to follow rules. She definitely doesn't, ladies and gents. So it's interesting because when I step into my queendom as a boss chick, you know, I'm that sensual, sexy woman who is creative and overflowing. I'm an empath, you know, so it makes it sometimes really difficult to action out certain things within my business and within my roles on a daily basis. But the definition for me, if I was to define what a boss chick is someone that's assertive, that knows where they're going, has the sat nav on, they've got the destination, and I think that they're a problem solver.
Yes.
You know, and they're ready to lead, but they're also ready to bring others with them.
Yes.
And it's not about making someone feel smaller or less than, but it's about sowing skills into your team so you can expand, essentially.
Yeah.
So that's how we both
it's
define
about
it.
empowering them, like you said. Most boss chicks are leaders, and I consider myself a leader, but there's times when I will empower someone else and allow them to lead and pull back and trust that they're going to be able to do what they say they're going to do. And if they don't, supporting them and making sure that task gets done. I don't have any staff under myself. I believe in empowering other women to become their own bossy chicks so that I don't have to be responsible for them. They're responsible for themselves. It's just growing that seed in them.
So it's like freelancers. You work in your business, but you've got freelancers to support you and make the dream come alive.
Networkers.
So then what would you say are 3 skills that, because here's the thing, you might be listening at home and you might feel like you're not sure exactly how you're getting into your role, but you want to do something, you want to earn extra income and so on and so forth, and you've got that burning unction and desire, but you're just not sure where to go. So why don't you tell our audience at home, what's the 3 skills that you would give to them?
The 3 skills that I will say to them is, first of all, believe in yourself. That is a skill in itself. Believe in yourself. Learn to be assertive. And there's a difference between being assertive and being aggressive. We're going to cover that a little bit later. Being assertive, having faith in your vision, and also being able to allow support to come in. Because although you're working and you're doing your business by yourself, you're not by yourself in business. There's going to be other women that are going to support you. There's going to be your family that's going to support you. So for me, is willing and allowing other people to also support you in your vision. I think those are the three main skills that I possess myself.
And those are really quite potent. So if I was to think about what 3 skills I would like to let those at home know, I think the first one is organisation. You know, I was up this morning, I was preparing everything, and I was doing my little cards. Do you like my little cards?
Needed.
It's got my logo on it, people. Hey.
Yeah.
You know, and I was organised, and I had the printer. I mean, how can you have a printer and not have ink? Come on, I'm organised.
I don't even have a printer.
I got called bougie the other day because I wanted to organise an appointment, and I thought to myself, well, if that's what you think's bougie, then that's you know, okay, I'll be bougie. I haven't got any problem with that. So number 1, please organise yourself. Yeah, very, very important to have some structures in place, writing things down. Maybe get a virtual assistant, maybe get a volunteer assistant, but have some sort of organisation that you know in terms of moving forward. I think number 2, be confident in who you are as a boss.
Right.
Be confident in who you are as a gift that God has given you. Yeah? So you can go out there into the world and just own it. You know, Stormzy says, own it. Stormzy, I want to interview you. So, you know, when you're ready, holla.
There you go.
Holla at your girl, Winsome
There you
Duncan, The Winsome Show. Own it. Control it. You know, be in that room. Be in that atmosphere. And then I think the third and final thing I would want to say is endurance.
That's
Stay
right.
the distance, right?
Yeah.
Stay the distance. Go the course.
Believe in your
Finish.
vision.
Finish.
Yes.
Complete.
Yes.
Finito, isn't it? Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Finish it.
Yeah.
That's what a
Yeah.
famous sermon by T.D. Jakes said. Finish it.
Learn to be resilient, that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the first thing, as I said, is faith. When you believe in your vision, it doesn't matter what everybody says to you. It doesn't matter if somebody says, this may not work. You may need to do a 9 to 5. When you believe in your vision, you become resilient. You learn to become resilient. And again, and the reason why I say asking for support, again, like you said, organization skills, it's needed. However, if you don't actually have organization skills yourself, ask for support. Take on someone to help you to organize. You know, if you're not good at something, bring on someone else. They'll be able to support you to fulfill that role. And like you said, it is being able to finish and execute the project and believe in the project that you're working on. I mean, I've had a business before. I thought it failed. It didn't. It planted me into the business that I have now. Yeah. And it's learning that failure is feedback. It's actually saying to you,
well, failure is not really failure, is it? Failure is just another way of how not to do it, isn't it?
It's a learning lesson.
Here's the thing, I want to go deep with you. Can I go deep?
Yeah,
because,
like,
just imagine this is our front room, yeah?
I go deep as a coach all the time, so let's go deep.
So let's really put it on it. So I look at you, you're pretty.
Thank you.
Got a nice figure.
Thank you.
You're very confident.
Thank you.
The first time I met you was at the Waldorf Hotel in Leicester Square, and you saw me cry. So I think from there, we just had this connection.
We did.
You know?
Yeah.
However, it's tough, you know, being a leader. So in your words, what do you think it takes to be a female leader?
As I said, being resilient, being strong, being assertive, knowing what you want, knowing your goals, knowing exactly what you want, because you also have to manage other things. Not only you're managing your business, you're managing family, partner, husband, whatever that is still believing that you can do it all and have it all, but you just may need the support. It's being strong. For me, I thought at one point in my life I was weak, but no, my weakness is my strength. Yeah. And it's being able to pull on my sources and my strength. What's that strength in me that keeps on going? It's just being so strong in yourself that no one can break you.
Well, it's really interesting because initially when I started out in the journey of managing in retail and doing supervising in retail, my thing was do this, do that. And people didn't like to be spoken to like that, but I didn't know. You know, I'm the boss, I'm the manager, that's what they pay me. You do this and you
Reminds
do
me
that.
of a scenario, yeah.
You know, just get
We're
it
going
done.
to go deep now.
Get it done, people. Get it done.
Yes.
But I was told that I had attitude problem. I was told that I was aggressive. But sometimes I think because of my size, people like to attach that word aggressive with it, and I don't like that, and I won't accept that. And we will really delve into the assertiveness and aggressive, V's aggressive, shortly. But for me, leadership that I've learned over the years as I've progressed is the thing, we got 2 ears, yeah? So we got 1 mouth, yeah? So we got 2 ears to listen more. Listen to what someone's saying. So now if I'm doing a conflict resolution, how do you think that went? What do you think we could do to improve that better? And I hear what they're saying. And then also, as a leader, I use the sandwich approach. Have you heard of sandwich?
No.
Right, okay. So we
School
can't
us
touch
on that one.
we can't we can't touch each other, but let's try and do a little demonstration for those at home.
Okay,
so put your hand out. Put your hand out. So that's the meat. Now's hand's the meat.
Yeah.
This is the bread. I'm the bread. I'm the bread.
Yeah.
So this is the sandwich.
Okay.
So I'll say something positive, then I'll say something negative or critical to that person, and then I'll finish with positive. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Yeah?
so positive, negative, and
No touching.
Okay.
I'm joking. I'm winding you up. I'm winding you. You're so easy.
I've got my mask and
I know. I know.
everything,
She's
yeah.
protected. So positive comment to the staff.
Right.
The meat is the negative comment of critique. Well, let's not say negative. It's the critique. Well, actually, I prefer you to be on time, thanks.
Right.
Can we make that happen? Can we do that accountability? And then we go back to positive.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned in my role.
That's a very
Are you
good
gonna use it?
example. I use it a lot.
Without knowing it was called the
I
sandwich
actually, you just basically said what I say. I always, if I believe, and I had a situation yesterday, I'm not going to go exactly into it. I'm honest. There's a difference between being rude or aggressive and being honest. I'm a very honest person, but I find a way to get my honesty across, because everybody takes things differently. Whatever stage in their life they may be at, they may not be open to the honesty I'm about to give them.
Yeah.
So if I don't know you, I don't have a connection with you, and you don't really know how I am, it may come across as, oh, this person could be, she thinks she's all that, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, I will always say a positive about the person. So somebody had sent something to me, and I felt that something was missing. Now, I've never had anything with this person before in terms of business, but I wanted to help her in a sense of, how can I support your business further? We're going to work together. How can I support it further?
How can I hold you? How can I nurture you?
How can I hold you? And also at the same time, make you aware of the mistake or the typo or the missing nugget. So I went back to the person and I said, okay, right now I'm tired. I don't need to respond to this one. I'm a bit less tired.
Yes.
Let me respond this in a calming way. And I did. And the first thing I said was, thank you very much. This is amazing what you sent me. However, in order for us both to support each other, may I suggest this and that? Because in this aspect, we can both support each other on both platforms.
Yeah.
And then I also picked up a little typo, because I'm very much about, spell check, and I picked up a bit typo. And at the same time I sent this, and I'm like, I sent it, and at the same time I thought to myself, I'm sending this with love. Let's see how it's received. The response was received the same way it was sent. It was received with love. She was like, you know what, it's the first time I've actually had to do it like this, and no one has said anything, but thank you. It's really uplifting to know that.
Because that's like a training, isn't it? We're educating and we're training the youngers. Because, we look good, ladies and gents. We look good. I'm not boasting, but we look good. But we got some age on us. Yeah, and I might even have a dry foot that I'm not going to show you. I had to put some cocoa butter on there this morning. So let's
we keep
you know
it
what I
real.
mean? Like, I've got some grey hairs under this, like, Jamaican, the colour flags.
She's really going deep, ain't she? Jeez.
Come on now, let's talk about it. All right, so you said earlier that people will say, oh, she all that. She all that. Now, come on, let's be real. You're easy on the eye.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you. So are you.
Oh, thank you. And
even though I can't touch you right now.
That's all right. There'll come a time where I will be touched in a sisterly way.
Oh my God. Okay.
So now
back
so
to
you're
the
funny.
subject.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. in a sisterly way. All right, so, you know, she's all that, you know, there's that, oh, she thinks she did, she thinks she heard, she thinks she has, she better than us. Are people intimidated by you? And if they are, how do you deal with it?
Intimidating is a strong word. I personally believe, from my experiences, is that when I work with strong women who are also leaders, that we can have a tendency to clash because we're both leaders, right? So whether I can come across as being intimidating or not, I have actually been pulled up, trying to think of a situation when I was actually being pulled up because I was trying to take control. I hired someone to do their role, and I was still trying to take control. And the reason why I was trying to take control...
That's called micromanaging,
right,
isn't it?
yeah. I need to learn not to all the time because the person was amazing at their job and they were. But it was about honesty because they were trying to get to know how I work and I'm leading and saying, this is what I want. Even though I've hired you to do the job, this is what I want. Yep. It came to a point where she stopped me. She was like, I don't want to work with you no more after this project. And I had to say to her, I had to ask her, what's the reason? And she said, because every project that she's taken on, she's told to get on with her job and she does an amazing job. She's amazing in what she does, and she really is, right? Now, when she said this to me, and she basically said, you know, I feel like you're still taking over and trying to tell me how to run my project, and it's causing me anxiety. And I said, you know what? Thank you so much for being so honest with me. I didn't realize I was doing this. I'm glad you told me. I wish you told me right at the beginning, but it's fine. Let's work together your way. I pulled back, and she executed the project amazingly.
Do you know what's really interesting about this? Because I've had similar situations like this as well. And this is why we have contracts, ladies and gents. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in my contracts now, when I'm working with clients, I put on there that you are of the understanding, as I'm a consultant, that I have the necessary expertise and knowledges and skills to do what it is that you've asked me to do. And it's been more than one instance where I've had, you know, people quite trying to obviously wanting to make sure that their product and their services or their books or whatever it is comes out in the best possible way. But they'll do something which then impacts what I'm trying to do.
So we had this scenario ourselves, didn't we?
To a certain degree, but it's even, you know, I do it or you do it. And you're right, we did touch on this scenario ourselves, but we're going to go to that a bit later because, you know, what people don't know at home is that we have a publisher-author relationship.
Right, yes.
But that's coming a bit later. But, you know, in that instance, you know, we can let them know a little bit more about how we dealt with that and how we managed that. Because that's actually really quite important. So let's go to some definitions. A boss, yeah? So I looked up today, a boss definition is a person who is in charge of a worker or an organisation. Her boss offered her a promotion. So that's another way of looking at it. So the word boss can mean and bring up a lot of things to you out there, those that are listening. But what happens when you're the boss and you have to manage difficult conversations? This is really the heart of the show because this is why I've brought Nelsa on today, because we have accountability calls every week, and in that we look at how we can improve ourselves and look at all the challenges that we've got within our daily working lives. And there are quite a few. So for me personally, most recently, I've had to sit down, look people in the eye and say,
virtually?
Right. Well, virtually and in person. I had to make some special trips when we had our bubbles going, some special trips. And, you know, and look and say that this is a problem for me. How can we find the medium road, the middle road, a solution? And not only that it's a problem for me, but me knowing my boundary, that this is how we're going to work. Are you on board? This is the direction we're going. Are you coming with me? Because you're either going to come or you're going to stop or you're going to stay. And I just want everyone to excel. I just want everyone to be paid. I just want everyone to push forward in what it is that they want to do. It's not just all about me when I'm working in a team. So managing difficult conversations is tough, as you know. How let's begin to unpack this. How do you manage with your staff members difficult on conversations? Let's start there.
Again, like you said at the beginning, I listen.
Yeah.
First of all, I'll say what the problem is. I'm a coach, so we unpack
You're
what
an
the problem
NLP
is. I'm an NLP
coach,
coach,
yeah, of course
transformation coach.
Yeah.
So we unpack the problem. We figure out what the problem is. So if the problem is I've got the problem with this particular person, again, I will say, look, this has come to.
So let's be specific. Staff. We're talking staff.
Staff.
So
yeah.
not clients or not family
Not
or
family
loved
or
ones.
clients, staff.
We're talking staff members.
Right.
We've got to, because we need to inspire and help people know out there some tips and what it is that they can do. So how do you manage difficult conversations with your team members or your staff?
With my team members and my
Yeah.
staff. This is why I don't take on staff, by the way. But when I have done in the past, because prior to this I worked a 9 to 5 and I managed a team of team assistants, team administrators, and I was a personal assistant to a high profile person. And I had to manage a team of 15. Because I was their age and because I was also doing a similar job to them, but I was responsible for the main top guy and they were responsible for the rest of the project managers. They wanted to see me and, I'm down to earth, I get onto your level, we can talk, I'm myself all the time. So when you then have to step up and be the boss and say that this is the problem, it creates that kind of atmosphere. Oh, who does she think she is? That same word. So for me, I would say what the problem is, and I would say what the mistake is, and I'd say, is there a way that I can support you in making sure that this gets done properly? Do I need to train you again? Do we need to go
So
on
here's
training
the thing
again?
though, Robert Kiyosaki, I've read his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He talks about working in your business, working on your business, and being in investment. So just for the people at home, we are self-employed. We have our own businesses. We do this full time. This is our dream, our passion. So that's the first thing that I want to get out there. So are you saying that experiences in the past have been negative, so you prefer to work alone, solo? Is that what you're saying?
Not really.
What
All
are
I'm
you
saying
saying?
is that I don't want to work for no one else. That's all I'm saying, because I want to be in control of the empire that I'm building.
Right.
That's the reason why I've chosen.
So wouldn't you say you need a team?
I do need a team, and that's why I bring on freelancers or consultants. I don't specific. Maybe there may come a time in my business I may want to take on staff.
PAYE.
Like right now, my daughter is my administrator. She's my staff. But she is my daughter, and obviously we still have a mother and daughter relationship. So yes, you could say she's my staff. And for me, it's like I said, I want my daughter to be her own boss eventually. So although initially she's my staff and I'm paying her wages, I'm showing her how to take care of her own and build her own empire.
So do you think everyone can be a leader then?
Oh,
or do we have to have some followers?
Do we have to? Can everybody be a leader? That's a tough question. Can everybody be a leader? You've got me on that one.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. The reason why I was saying you stopped me on that one is because it takes a lot to be a leader. And would you say it's like a characteristic, something you have in them?
It's a characteristic called hard as nails.
Yeah, hard as nails. And I mean, me growing up,
you've got to be able to take the licks, the batters, the punches, the kicks,
Listen,
the karate chops.
I'm African. I took all of them. I have a strong mom. I have a strong African mother. So I'm African. I was brought up to take responsibility for my home. There was the difference between you're a girl and you must do this, and then you're a boy and you must do, there was that. I grew up in that kind of household.
So you're Portuguese and...
I'm from Mozambique. I'm African, but I speak Portuguese.
Okay, so you're from Mozambique and you speak Portuguese. Because they're Afro-Portuguese, isn't it?
Yeah, because we were colonized.
So you don't consider yourself Afro-Portuguese? No. You consider yourself African?
African.
Proud African?
I'm a proud African. And I speak Portuguese. That's it.
Power to the people.
I speak Portuguese. That's my first language.
Do you want to say something to your Portuguese people? Tell them hello.
Olá, tudo bem?
Go on, Elsa.
Yeah, so I grew up in a household where we had to take responsibility. And I took responsibility from an early age. From the age of 18, I was already living by myself.
So here's the thing. For me, it's a bit different. I come from a place of having an addictive nature.
Right.
And that haunts me every day of my life. I come from a place of being an empath. And that's really challenging, where not only do I have to deal with my feelings, I've got to deal with yours, like a sponge, and I just absorb and I just take it in. And I've got a bit of an innate ability to just instinctually know something's not right, or a discerning spirit.
Spiritual.
You know, one guy that I saw yesterday, I said he was from Morocco. He said, "How do you know that?" I said, "I could just feel it." You know what I mean? I just had the vibes. He was kind of cute. Morocco, what is that? North Africa.
You could feel it.
Yeah.
You could feel it was Morocco.
Hey, if you're out there. Yeah, no, I could. I mean, he just looked at me like, "Oh, I couldn't guess where you were from, but you got a lovely dress on." I was like, "Thanks." And it was really interesting because he was delivering. He was doing a delivery service, and he's actually a lawyer by trade. But he's hustling. He's like, "Look, I need to make some money."
Never judge a book by its cover, hey?
I'm telling you.
Exactly.
I need to make some money.
Exactly.
So here I am, in the rain,
Right.
getting paid. You see what I'm saying? So for me, my stance on managing difficult conversations, I feel it. So if something's upset me, if something pees me off, if I'm disturbed, it just is in my being, it's in my skin, it's in my pores.
It's your intuition, isn't it?
It's a part of it, but I just get consumed or even obsessed with, you know, how could they speak to me like this? And I've got to be the adult. I don't want to be the adult. I want to be the child. I want to throw my prams out the cot and cuss you off, you know? But
so we have many conversations, don't we? Oh,
we can't do that. But if you push that button, I can and I will switch. You know, so let's not go there. I can be reasonable, I can be very calm, but if you push me, then I have to check you and put you in your place. That's just what it is.
Right.
You like it, you don't like it, here's your money back, whatever.
You're just being you, right?
This is it.
Can't
So
be anything
managing
else.
difficult conversations is not really an easy thing for me personally to do, but I'm getting better at
Right.
it. And, you know, and I have to look and say, well, this is the case, and can we this, and can we that, and all the rest of it, because in life we have to learn how to navigate ourselves. We are selling ourselves every single day.
Yeah.
We are selling ourselves every single day. So what kind of closing thoughts do you want to give on, maybe give some tips to people at home, how they can, let's have 3 tips from you, Nelsa, at home,
Right, so
how they can manage
you
difficult.
touched on the first thing, which is feelings, right? Your feelings matter. However, when you're dealing with, you know, you're a businesswoman and you're dealing with people, the best thing that you can do is not act based on your feelings. And we have these many conversations, don't we, Winsome, where, you know, how do we deal? Seek counsel from someone. How do I deal with this person? Right, first of all, don't deal with them when you're angry. Don't deal with them when you're upset. Don't deal with them when you've got so much going on. Pull yourself back. Reflect, and I do that a lot. I pull myself back. Any conflict, whether it's a personal, business, whatever it is, I pull myself back and I ask myself, what has caused this situation and how can I better respond? So first of all is don't be in your feelings. Don't respond based on your feelings. Center yourself, and then when you're in a place where you're calm and you've given yourself the self-love, I have to mention that, you've given yourself the self-care, you're feeling calmer, then you can go back to this email or to the phone call and deal with the situation, because then you're dealing with it with a clear mind. That's the first tip I would give you.
Was that the first tip?
Yeah, that was the first
I
tip.
thought there was about 5 tips in there.
Oh, was there? All
Yeah,
right, I hope
'cause
you're writing it down.
We got to talk about books,
right.
girl.
Okay, so second tip is being assertive, knowing yourself.
Hey.
Be assertive. It doesn't matter whether people are going to say she thinks she's all that, or, she's rude, whatever it is. Be assertive and be honest. Honesty is the best policy. And
That's
third...
number 3, is it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
number
honest.
2. Number 2. And number 3
You
is...
just did 10
number
million tips
3
now,
is
sis.
don't give up. There's no such thing as failure. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is a stepping stone to greatness. Believe in yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
See, this is why we can't do 45 minutes.
You know, I was thinking...
Because when we get together, like, on the phone call, it's going to be 5 minutes. Half an hour later, we're still talking.
You know,
And that's just the
exactly.
vibe that we have. So for me, I would say managing difficult conversations, be brave. You can do this. I know your heart beats, but just be brave. Be clear. What is the message that you want from this narrative? And just keep reinforcing it and repeating it. This is what I want. This is how I feel. Never attack someone and say, you did this, you did that. No. I feel upset that you would call me bougie.
I like that word.
Message.
I like that word.
And then the third one I would say is maybe just talk about it to your business mentor. Because if you're going to be a boss, you've got to have a business mentor.
Right.
So that would be the third thing that I would say. But we're going to move
100%.
swiftly on because I can't believe it. Time is just going. And we're going to get chucked out soon. No, we're not. But time is going and we've got so much more to get through in these last few minutes. So teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes.
So in teams, we're talking about today conflict resolution. What does teamwork mean to you?
Teamwork means bringing something together, working together, identifying everybody's strengths and building this empire together. Even if it's not staff, support people that are working with you, being part of a network, building something together. We'll create that project, we'll create magic in that project. So for me, teamwork is everybody bringing in the individual skills to birth something, and making sure that that team has the same vision.
Good, excellent.
Yeah.
So for me, teamwork means there's no I in teamwork. You know, and we just talked about difficult situations. So when we're talking about difficult situations, the definition of difficult is, first of all, it's an adjective, and it's needing much effort or skill to accomplish, deal with, or understand. Now, I want an easy life. But what I want doesn't always happen. You know, it doesn't always come to fruition. So I just think in cases like this, there's no I in teamwork. It's how can we come together, use everyone's skills, use their strengths.
Yes.
If someone's not good at administration, you have to use their strengths and creativity to push forward and not give them no admin jobs or minimize
Identify
admin
each other's
jobs.
strengths, right?
Yeah, definitely identifying each other's strengths. So that's some real good tips for you. So earlier on at the beginning of the show, ladies and gentlemen, we talked to you about having a publisher vs author relationship, myself and Nelsa. So we're going to touch on that a little bit more because we are both authors. We are written books as well. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we came across and dealt with challenges in, you know, not I wouldn't even call it a challenge really, but, you know, communicating effectively. So there was an instance in when we were working together when because the thing about it is, so let's start here. This is Nowsa's book here, Soul of a Woman. And get a close up of that, Soul of a Woman, yeah? And it's a journey to self-love. So it's a 5-star rated book on Amazon. It's very beautiful, well done, and congratulations. It's a beautiful self-help book, empowerment book. It's got lots of, I don't even think the camera can pick it up, but it's got lots of quotes, which I'm going to read from. So with this piece, you know, Nell's strength is putting PDFs together and lots of interesting materials at work and administration. So you came with a lot of ideas for this project, but then it kind of crossed over into what I was supposed to do, which is to typeset it and put it together and send it out. So how did we deal with that?
Yeah, so basically I decided I formatted my whole book when I shouldn't have formatted the whole book. And I couldn't understand. I thought to myself, but I've helped. I've just done the formatting because I come from a PA background. So, you know, I just thought I was being helpful. But you were saying to me, no, Nelsa, that's my job. So again, it's what I've learned from my past, other ladies that I've worked with, and yourself, that I have to respect and obviously work within my boundaries and respect and trust that you will do your job as well as you do as a publisher, because I'm not a publisher, therefore I can't do your job. And me, do my job as an author. So we communicated, weren't we? We told each other how we felt, and we were honest. Yeah. And then after that, look at the amazing relationship we have now.
And I love to take on ideas from authors, you know, but also what I love is to be able to do what it is that I do best and for there not to be any crossover. So for me, working in this industry, I've had to be very boundaried about where, you know, I work. And again, this is good information for those of you that are listening at home of how you can resolve things. It wasn't nothing major, it wasn't nothing big,
No,
but we,
not at all,
you know, it was
honestly.
something that we got through, and this is why I always love a candid talk with Nelsa. So one of the quotes from her book is, she had to break down before she could crawl, die to self and spread her wings, learn to be grateful for the smallest of things. Now, girl, I've broken down, but we ain't got enough time today. Time is running out.
We don't. Oh my God, I thought you were
What inspired you to write this book?
What inspired me to write this book is I went through a difficult situation in my life, and I wanted to share my story, break the stigma anyway, and speak up about what I went through. And I wanted to use my story to show other women, even men that can read a book, that it's possible to get back up, and to show you the simple steps that you can do through poetry, through reflections, through exercises, so you can engage, connect, and empower yourself to take responsibility for your health. I just wanted to spread my goodness and how I overcame life spiritually.
And it's such a touching story, so I'm not going to spoil it for those people out there. They have to get in contact with you or get it from Amazon. But read us a quote from your book.
A quote from my book.
You kind of know it off by heart, don't you?
My favourite quote is, "To embrace your flaws is a skill. To love yourself is the magic pill." When I began to love myself, I healed myself. And I talk about self-love a lot, and it's a subject that a lot of women or a lot of men are like, "Oh no, what's that? You know, self-love is selfish." No, it's selfless.
It's self-full.
Selfless.
Self-love is also
selfless
self-full.
means doing less for them, more for you, so
Yeah.
that you can fill up your cup and then be able to give more to them. That's how I
Yeah.
explain being selfless.
We've run out of time. Can you
Yes.
imagine what's going on in the world today?
I know.
It's not right, I say. It's not right. Give us more time, boss.
Can we have more
So
time?
before we go, just quickly, very quickly, just down in that camera there, tell everybody out there that wants to contact you, get a copy of the book, just
Right.
quickly tell them your social media.
Right, so this is the book, as you've seen it, by Nelsa Katoja, Soul of a Woman, A Journey to Self-Love, available on Amazon. And I also do these amazing self-care gift hampers. You can connect with me via Facebook, also on Instagram, Free to Embrace Me, or I am Nelsa Katoja. And the links are there to get the book. So connect with me, buy a book, buy it for someone who is struggling, and spread the love. Spread the love. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on and being a guest on my first show.
Yay.
It's been an absolute pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Winsome Show, and what fun we've had. I've really enjoyed myself. I think it's about living on purpose. It's
Yes.
about being present. It's about being passionate about your dreams. So if there's a book inside you and you want to publish, or you want to come to one of our writing classes, we've got Just Write It seminars. I can help you to get started in telling that story. It's a great way to share your legacy. It's a great way to monetize your story as well. You can join us at www.peachespublications.co.uk, all right? And I've got a little workbook here. I'll just show you quickly. So you can get this workbook from our website. It's called Just Write It. Tell your story, write your book. I don't know if you can see that clearly. There we go. And just start bringing out what's in you, because you can see how Nelsa has transformed. And for me personally, you know, when it comes to love and matter of the heart and things like that, I've actually written a book called He Loves Me Not, What to Do When Online Dating Hurts. Now, when we get into that story, it's going to be really, really deep, because I got myself into a position, unfortunately, where I had a gun pointed to me in the barrel. But that's not the story today. The story is just go out and support authors of colour, female entrepreneurs, female boss chicks. And please like our page. We're on Facebook. If you can go to www.facebook.com/The Winsome Show. I would love to hear from you. If you want to be a guest on the show, get in touch with me. I'm all over social media. I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, just put in Winsome Duncan and I'm there. I'm really sorry, we are out of time and we do have to wrap it up now. But just remember, when you live on purpose and you live inside of your passion, you will never have to live another working day in your life. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
You are watching AMAZE TV.